Before I start my speech, here's my audience. Our world is ever changing. We see shifts in seasons and flowers blooming. Our planet is changing too, sometimes in less obvious ways, but we can feel it. We all want to protect our planet by being environmentally conscious about our actions. And I am able to speak to you about being environmentally sustainable on college campuses. One, because I have been to environmentally sustainable college before I transferred to GCU. And two, I have been in love with environmental sustainability ever since I was a kid. But you might be asking, why is this important, especially for colleges? Well, in Arizona, it's causing it to affect our agriculture, which is essentially our food. It's causing wildfires and landscape changes. And not only that, but it's also affecting our human health. And so we really need to focus on being environmentally conscious. And so there are many ways to help improve the environment, such as monitoring and composting waste and helping reduce the amount of pollution from hazardous materials on campuses. And so today I'm here to persuade you to sign a petition at Grand Canyon University supporting that we start a Go Green initiative. So to go on to my first topic, which is waste, I first want to tell you what Going Green initiative is. It's pursuing the practice of being environmentally conscious and ecologically responsible. And so that would mean recycling, composting, just being aware of what you're doing to the environment. So to start with landfill and waste. Waste in general is bad for the environment and releases gases such as carbon dioxide and methane. And so there are many ways, being on college campus, we have lots of waste that's not always recycled and composted. And so, the production of methane and carbon dioxide and things like that causes it to contribute to climate change by leaving that in the atmosphere. Not only that does it do that, but it also produces leachate, which makes its way out of landfills and causes dead zones, areas for animals due to lack of oxygen. But that would also mean that it's uninhabitable for us as well, due to us needing oxygen as well. And with GCU's problem with landfills is the fact that we have very few recycling bins on campuses, and they're usually only big enough for like a couple cans and things like that. So honestly, we're not saving as much, especially since a lot of the materials that our campus uses isn't always recyclable. And not only is waste a problem on campuses, but so is pollution. And we have many types of pollution, industrial being the most well-known type of pollution, but you can have pollution from chemicals and all sorts of things. And so, like mercury products and hazardous wastes. But we also see it in college activities every single day. So when you're doing art, science, photography, or even in the science lab, you are essentially producing some pollution. And so a way to combat this would be to try and limit the amount of chemicals we use and things like that. So some solutions that I've seen that I've worked on other college campuses is one, where the Loyola University of Chicago. That's where I went before I transferred to Grand Canyon University, and they have a lot of Go Green initiatives there, where they start doing composting and biodegrading, so they make their own soaps. But with composting, you are essentially helping out the environment because it encourages the breakdown of beneficial bacteria instead of bad bacteria. It also reduces the amount of methane emissions that are released into the air that you would normally get from a landfill. But also it enriches soil, so it makes it a lot better for plants to grow. And some things that we can use when composting is most foods, so like fruit and veggies from dining halls and things like that, paper and yard trimmings, so when you mow the lawn or something like that, you can put that into composting. We see all these things are going to help reduce the amount of waste on a college campus. And so it'd be easy for GCU to contribute and add all these steps into the program, just to make us more environmentally conscious about our actions. And not only that, but we also looked at Harvard University, where they're doing a lot of renewable energy type of stuff to help reduce their carbon impact. And so one thing that they do is energy reduction. And so where they put most of their energy reduction is they take it from heating, cooling, and lighting. Some ways that you can do that is by changing the type of light bulbs that you have in like rooms and things like that, make them more like fluorescent, or ones that use less emissions and things like that. But it's not only that, but it's you can build things in to make them more like reduction and things like that. And it is a good financial investment as well, because according to Harvard, while it costs $27 million to do, it actually saves $14 million a year. So within the second year, it'd already be seeing at least $1 million return from your investment. So you'd pretty much be investing in one, more money for the college campuses, and two, more environmentally safe. Not only do they do that, but they also worked on renewable energy changes on campus. So renewable energy helps reduce unwanted emissions and things like that. So they have some on-site installations where you can put on campus. Like they have roof-mounted wind turbines, CO generation, solar voltaic energy, all these different types of energy sources on campus directly to give them renewable energy. That way they're reducing the amount of emissions that they put onto the world. But if they don't want to spend the money to like kind of put all that on-site installations on, they can also just purchase renewable energy to make up and kind of make them a more greener campus. So today I was here to persuade you to sign this petition supporting that Grand Canyon University start a Grow Green initiative on campus. I hope you learned that the waste that are in landfills are dangerous to the environment. Greenhouse gases produced from pollution on campus are causing harm to the environment, and we can combat this through steps that Loyola is doing, where it's like composting that is beneficial to the environment by reducing emissions and enriching soil and helping out, but also the same as Harvard did and looks at renewable energy to reduce emissions while being green, and they save money. So while we might not always be able to see these changes in our planet, they are in fact there, and we should be doing something about them.